We are sponsored by a Korean Tottenham Hotspur fan who wishes for all Koreans and the rest of the world to visit and discover Singapore.
Email Kelly for an introduction to Singapore at jrjinsingapore@gmail.com. That's jrjinsingapore@gmail.com.
What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for an episode of Player Ratings as Spurs beat Vissel Kobe yesterday by 3-2. We're not in Japan anymore, are we, Sim? We're here in Seoul, Gangnam Station, Whoppa Gangnam style.
Yeah, Gangnam Street, I think, and it's unbelievable. Look how unbelievable this street is. Lit up. This is the place you want to be at night. It's unbelievable to be here. It's one of the cities I've always wanted to see, and it's unbelievable that I'm here right now. I can't quite believe it.
Yeah, it really is, and we had a great morning. You know, we saw the team arrive at Incheon Airport. A massive fanfare for obviously Sonny, and we had a few people come up to us as well. So it was brilliant.
Signed a few autographs. Practice your signature, huh?
Yeah, I had to practice that today. Never had a signature before, but now I've got one. So thank you everyone for showing their love so far. But
someone came up with Son's book and wanted me to sign Son's book. I was like, oh, you want me to sign it? Okay, I'll do it.
Humbling. But look, we've got a lot of players to rate, so let's get straight into it. We're going to start off with Vicario. Played 45 minutes in the game. I don't think he could have done much with the goal that we did concede. It was just a poor error of judgment from Pape Matar Sarr. Apart from that, not really tested, I felt, and the things that he did do well was like coming out, sweeping well, and showing confidence in that stage. So I guess I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, I think I don't have many memories of him doing too much. Did he not start the second half?
No, he went off at half time.
Yeah, for Austin?
Yeah.
I thought Austin came on at like 60 or something.
It says here half time.
Half time, okay, I was wrong about that. But it was good to see Vicario. First time we've seen him in pre-season, obviously, because he's been away for Italy. So not much to report. It wasn't too challenged, but it was good to see him.
Yeah. Pedro Porro up next at right back. Obviously got our first goal, and what a goal it was. I'm going to give him an 8. I thought Pedro Porro put in his best shift of pre-season so far. The way he took his goal I thought was fantastic. I thought he defended really well, and he looked a lot more on it. As I've been saying in previous games, he looks a bit rusty, but I felt like he looks like he's overcome that now.
Yeah, he was looking really, really good, and obviously he took his goal so well, and we know he gets into those attacking situations so often. We know he's got the quality to make the difference in those situations, and he should be getting more goal contributions. I think he got 9 last season, 2 goals and 7 assists. But I'm saying even as a fullback, he should be getting more, because I look at his quality, and you know how much quality he's got. So brilliant goal, and let's hope he carries on.
Yeah. Emerson Royal up next at right centre back, and I thought again, I gave him praise after the last game. I'm going to give him praise again because I thought he put in a really good shift. I'm going to give him a 7. Not really much to talk about, but I think when he was on the pitch, he handled himself really well.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I think he dealt with what came his way pretty comfortably. I don't remember too many things he did wrong, which is definitely saying something for Emerson, because when he does something wrong, it's usually big. So fair play to Emerson.
Archie Gray up next. Started at left centre-back, then he moved into the number 6 in the second half. I thought Archie Gray was brilliant, to be honest. I'm going to give him an 8. I thought once at centre-back, once again handled himself really well, showed bite in the challenge, showed quality on the ball, and in the second half when he was at that number 6, I thought he showed even more quality on the ball.
Yeah, and there was that one moment in the first half, wasn't it, when he danced past 2-3 players and then gave the ball away, and they made a recovery tackle and set up Sonny with a chance as well, showing his composure, his class, and some really good forward passes yet again from Gray, which he's just literally not scared to play the ball forward in any situation, so really growing into it. Yeah, I'm going to give him a 7, really good performance.
Next up, Ben Davies. First time we're seeing him on pre-season. Started his first game just coming back from injury. Started at left back. Only played 45 minutes with Jamie Donnelly coming on at half time. And yeah, I think it was just a standard Ben Davies display, wasn't it? Nothing too spectacular. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just a nice solid 7 display, I would say.
Usually Ben Davies is either a 6 or a 7, and I think this is probably a 6 kind of performance. I didn't think he did anything special or did great, but didn't do too much wrong either.
Next up, Pape Matar Sarr started off in the middle of the park, and I actually thought he was uncharacteristically poor, particularly for the goal. I don't know what he's doing there. It's just a complete error of judgment, a complete brain fart where he just basically passes the ball and Vissel Kobe have an open goal. But apart from that, I thought there were a few more wayward passes in the middle of the park as well. I saw him getting visibly frustrated with some of his teammates as well. I'm not sure what was playing on his mind, but I did think it was a fairly poor performance. I'm going to give him a 5.
Sorry, yeah, I thought the goal, obviously, he won't want to see that back again. It was just a really poor bit of decision making. Maybe you can blame the defenders for not giving him a shout loud enough where he can lead.
He's
the
got to have
ball.
more awareness, though.
Of course, and that'll be on him. I thought he showed some really nice touches in the middle of the park, though. Some really nice swivels in tight spaces, and some really good build-up play as well. His passing wasn't at his best, but I'll give him a 6.
Next up, Yves Bissouma, and I'm actually going to give Bissouma an 8. I've been so impressed with Bissouma in pre-season so far. After the heartbreak of what was last season, first 10 games, and he never really recovered from the red cards and everything like that, I feel like he's started this pre-season with a bit of a point to prove. He's showing us why we loved him so much in those first 10 games. I'm just seeing a lot of the similar traits: getting the ball, dictating the tempo of the play, driving forward, being a proper driving force in that team, and being really hard to handle and hard to get the ball off. So I think his ball retention's really good as well.
Yeah, and I think the flicks and tricks are starting to reappear as well. You're starting to see that confidence flowing through Bissouma, and it's really, really great to see, because when he's in this kind of form, it makes you think, why we're even talking about signing another midfielder in that position. Obviously, his consistency is the key for him, but a really strong performance from him, yeah, and I'll agree, 8's a good rating.
Brennan Johnson on the right-hand side. I'm just checking when Brennan went off. Brennan went off on the 60th minute for Mikey Moore. And I do think Mikey Moore did outshine him, to be honest. I thought Brennan was a bit in and out of the game. I thought there was a couple of moments where, he could have done a bit better. There was one moment where he got good balls into the box, gets into the right positions with his late runs into the box. But I don't feel like he did too much apart from maybe 2 actions there.
We got the assist for Sonny, didn't we? Brilliant assist for Sonny at the back post. And that was a classic Brennan assist. Getting down the right-hand side, putting the ball across the face of goal. He's kind of mastered that ball across the face of goal at this point. He can really get it on a plate for his teammates, and obviously he set up the goal. Did get into those positions a few times, and I thought didn't make the most of them, so he'd be disappointed with that. And I think he could have been a bit more threatening. So I'll probably give him he got an assist, so I'll probably give him a 7.
Yeah. James Maddison in the number 10 went off at half-time again, I think, for who was it for? Was it for Will Lang? Bergvall, that was it, Bergvall. And I thought Maddison did well. I did think we got a lot more creative in that second half once he did go off, which was a bit of a shame for him, but I felt like he was trying to take responsibility for the team. He was dropping deep in parts and really trying to dictate the tempo, and I appreciated his efforts in the game, but I felt like maybe he could have done a bit more going forward.
Yeah, I felt like his ability in build-up, his ability to weave through the midfield, I thought his passing range was pretty decent, but not spectacular. Still, I feel like he's still got levels to go based on that performance. I thought he had actually started pre-season fairly well, and I'm not saying it's a step backwards, but I don't think he was incredible. So I'll give him a 7.
I'm going to give him a 6. I keep forgetting to rate these players when I don't have it in front of me in the studio. It's a bit hard to remember. But let's go on to Heung-min Son. He was the star of the show, particularly in the first half. I felt he obviously got the goal. He went off on 60th minute. I thought he was a shining light throughout. He was giving his fullback no ends of problems at times. He looked like he really wanted to put on a show for his fans out in Japan, and I think he definitely did that. I think it was his best display of pre-season so far. Got the goal, is pretty much a carbon copy as what we saw in the open training, which was doing time and time again. And I'm going to give him, it was probably like a 7.5, but I'll give him the benefit of doubt and give him an 8.
Yeah, I think the whoever put on the game, the World Challenge Series did give him man of the match, but no surprise giving, if he's going to score, they're going to give him man of the match. But I thought he had a pretty good game out on that left-hand side, looking more comfortable, more involved in the game than he was, especially in the first half against QPR. And I might be mixing up memories of the open training, but I'm pretty sure we had that moment he cut inside, forced a good save out of the keeper.
He did, yeah.
He
was threatening throughout.
He had the goal that he scored. As I mentioned, we saw that goal about 5 or 6 times in training, literally carbon copy. So he's got that down pat. He knows when he's arriving at the back post, he's going to be finishing that into the corner. And I thought he was giving their left back a torrid time. And when they did stop him, it needed 2 or 3 players each time to stop him to make sure he wasn't creating something. So really strong performance from Sonny.
And last but not least, in the starting 11 was Dejan Kulusevski, who started off as the false 9. And I thought he did a really good job. Again, another game. I'm going to give him an 8, by the way. Another game where he gets a goal contribution. Really nice play, another flick to play in Pedro Porro for our first goal, which carries on this theme, doesn't it, from pre-season with Deki and his assists and his flicks that are really proving unbelievably well for him. He's holding up the ball really well in that game in the false number 9, and I felt like he was, again, another player that was threatening throughout.
Yeah, I think was his third flick assist of the pre-season, so that's really something he's developing, especially in that central area, which he's now clearly going to be playing from the next season. Was really interesting. Obviously playing in the number 9 position. What I would say is I thought he looked a lot stronger when he was trying to bring other players into play than trying to make something for himself, like trying to get a shot off or trying to get beyond the last defender to stretch the back line. I thought he wasn't able to do that as effectively, but when he was knitting the play together with his teammates, dropping deep, getting that flick for Porro obviously, and setting up chances, and also getting a little flick around the corner to beat a man, he was doing good at that. But I felt like he could have had a bit more of a goal for himself.
I think what I'm really enjoying in this pre-season is 2 players where there's been massive question marks over their future at this football club, whether it be Dejan Kulusevski, where he suits in this team, and Yves Bissouma, and I feel both of them are really playing for their futures and trying to make a real point in this pre-season. Let's move on to the second half of players. Brandon Austin came on. I think he made 1 save. I can't really remember too much else that he did, so I'm going to give him a 6. I think, another solid display, but really not tested too much.
Yeah, I don't remember too many touches he had. Obviously, the goal he conceded was a bit of a deflection as well. He couldn't really do much with it. So, didn't have that one spectacular save that he's had in the last couple of games in there.
Ollie Skipp, who came on, he came on for Bissouma. I can't remember if he slotted into the defence or he...
I think he did.
I think he slotted into defence.
Yeah.
I think he came on, showed good aggressivity in the at the back. And what more can I say about Ollie Skipp? I think he just put in a solid display. I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, I agree with that. I actually think his passing as well, really positive. Looking forward a lot more. Maybe he's actually learning a bit more from Archie Gray, interesting enough, because starting to play those passes with a lot more purpose. And I was actually pretty impressed with his second half performance. So yeah, I'll give him a 7.
Next up is Chef Lucas Bergvall. What a performance it was from him. It was great to see him live for the first time. And he put on a treat for us. He was creative. He was knitting the play together. There was one moment where he took it past like 2 players and played an unbelievable over-the-top ball. I can't remember who he played in, but it was one of the best balls I've seen for a very long time. And for a player of 18 to take so much responsibility on that football pitch, I thought he was unplayable every time he was getting the ball, showing those silky moves. And I think we're a very lucky team. I know, you can make a lot out of these pre-seasons, but you can just tell when someone's special, and I think he's that.
He was excellent coming on at half time. I thought he really took the game by the scruff of the neck. He was an absolute joy to watch. He looked like he was having a lot of fun out there, didn't he, with the Vissel Kobe opponents. It was too easy for him at times, the way he was gliding past 2-3 players at a time. And what I loved about him was when he's getting into that final third, he's making these quick, incisive decisions and being really creative, but making the correct decisions more often than not. And it's a delight to watch, and I'm literally getting more and more excited the more I see him.
I'll give him.
I'm going to give
him an 8.
Yeah, 8.
Jamie Donnelly up next came on again at left back, and I thought this was actually the pick of the lot in terms of performance. I thought he was brilliant. An attacking force, driving through the left-hand side and down the middle of the park, laid on a brilliant assist for Mikey Moore. He hit the post, he put in another cross where, I can't remember who it was, maybe should have got done better getting on the
Mikey
end
Moore.
of it. Oh, Mikey, was that the header?
Yeah. I think that was Donnelly's cross, yeah.
But look, I thought he was a threat throughout, and also from his defensive display as well, I thought he did a really good job.
He was my man of the match second off, Jamie Donnelly. I thought it was brilliant. There's obviously a lot of talk about Gray, Bergvall, and other players, Lancashire and whatever. And Donnelly, people forget how much hype there was around Donnelly last season. Not even longer, even near the end of last season, there was still a lot of hype. But because of these youngsters coming through, even more because he's a couple of years younger than Donnelly, people kind of forgetting about him because he's been power left back. But he was sensational in that second half, and he had this volley as well. Volley attempt from like the edge of it was just inside the box. There was a floated ball over the top, and he volleyed it first time, literally heading for the top of the net. Fingertip save from the keeper, only prevented it being a stunning goal. And as I say, hit the post and had 2 brilliant moments from out wide, which laid on chances on the play for Mikey Moore. One he put away, the other one he didn't. So could have had 2 assists and 2 goals in that second half if luck was on his side. So brilliant second half display from Jamie Donnelly, showing the quality that I've been looking for, because unfortunately, because he's been playing a left back, he hasn't been in as many opportunities to show that quality. So I was glad in this half he was in those positions more often, and we saw what quality he's got.
Yeah. And let's talk about Mikey Moore now. He came on with half an hour to go for Brennan Johnson, and I thought again he came on, showed quality. He was getting the ball, beating his man quite consistently, got his goal, which carries on his unbelievable form in goal contributions for every single game so far in pre-season. And at the age of 16, I mean, what more can you say about this guy? He keeps producing for us game in, game out. Ange Postecoglou has now come out and said, you know, he's completely playing his way into my plans, and I'm so happy for the lad.
Yeah, it's incredible. At 16, I know it's only pre-season, but to so consistently be getting goal contributions.
7.5, by the way. I'll give him
7.5. I thought it was a nuisance down the right-hand side. Obviously, there was that one moment where he beat like two players with quick feet on that right-hand side before I think getting out muscle at the end. But it was still a really, really nice moment. Obviously, he had two chances before scoring. One of them, he got the finish beyond the keeper and actually hit the defender's arm while he was sliding to keep it out, and maybe if there was VAR, it would have been a penalty, but a really good moment there. Donnelly obviously set up a chance which he headed over, but he didn't let it get to him, that he was kept missing chances. He kept getting in those positions and he got the goal, and that goal was also right out of the Postecoglou playbook, which shows to me that he's learning from what Ange is saying. He's listening to Ange, and I think Ange will definitely take a lot more notice of that goal rather than some individual moments, because that shows to him that he can actually just be part of a team, not just show his individual quality, and that's going to be a really important thing if he's going to be trusted to play.
Yeah, and I think he showed both aspects, didn't he? He showed he can go do that work, and he showed the individual quality as well in the game. So brilliant display from Mikey Moore, and I think like this guy's got such a big future. I've been banging on about him for so long, and now you guys know why. Now you guys know exactly why I was banging on about Mikey Moore. This guy is the diamond of the academy, and we've got so many of them at the moment. Let's move on to Manor Solomon, who came on with half an hour to go for Son Heung-min, and yeah, it was a bit of another lackluster display, to be honest. There was one moment where he got the ball shifted inside and just ballooned it over the bar, which was frustrating. He tried to make stuff happen out on that left-hand side, but unfortunately, he couldn't, to be honest.
Yeah, I just think he was frustrating again, to be honest. I didn't see too much in terms of quality. There you go. I didn't see too much quality in terms of end product or decision making again, which is something I've criticised Solomon for. Again, I've said it every rating that I've given him, but I know he's coming back from a year-long injury, so maybe it's harsh and we should give him a bit more time. But I just got to say, as I see it at the moment, I'm not seeing, he's being outshone by a lot younger players. That's the reality. I've said it every friendly, so I'm going to give him a 4. I don't think it was a great cameo from him.
Jed Spence up next. I'm going to give him a 7. I thought again he put in a really confident display. He came on for Pape Matar Sarr on the 66th minute, and again I think he's been showing the attributes that he's been showing all pre-season, getting the ball, driving down that centre of the park, showing his physicality, showing his pace, showing his quality, and I think he's definitely keeps playing his way into the manager's plans.
Yeah, and I thought it was a carry-on of his impressive performances in pre-season. I think he's really getting Ange to look at what the situation and think, actually I could use him, and I thought it was another strong showing. I think it wasn't quite the all-action displays maybe we saw in some of the other games, but I thought it was still a pretty solid show from Jed.
Ashley Phillips up next. He also came on the 66th minute for Archie Gray. I don't remember too much in there for Ashley Phillips apart from him picking up that booking, which not long after he did come on. But look, what he does he looks at home at this level in terms of his physicality, and I love Ashley Phillips, and I think that from what I've seen so far in pre-season, I'm happy for him to stick around as that 4th choice centre-back.
I wouldn't go that far, in my opinion. I'm not being unhappy, but I just feel like maybe some development on loan will do him the world of good, build him up a bit more, and help develop how he's going to be as a centre-back rather than being 4th choice here. I think he's been pretty good. I don't think he's done too much wrong. He's still very young, 19. I thought he did well when he came on in this game. Obviously, he did get that yellow card, but it'll be interesting to see what the management decide come the end of the window.
George Abbott up next, again came on the 60th minute for Pedro Porro. Again, I think he showed a few flashes of nice play on the ball, but ultimately I felt like he wasn't in the game maybe as much as he would have liked.
Yeah, I think the other players definitely had a lot more of the ball, were definitely doing a lot more with it. I thought Abbott showed a lot of energy, but I don't remember too much he did in the final third.
Will Lancashire, again, coming on the 66th minute for Emerson Royale. Again, he hasn't been able to replicate that performance, that first performance when coming on for those second half 20 minutes against Hearts. But I still think he shows a lot of energy, he shows a lot of desire, but hasn't been able to really hurt the opposition defence.
Yeah, I felt like he wasn't really that in the game, but he was unlucky on a couple of occasions where he was inches away from getting on the end of some really great crosses from the right-hand side. So if one of them goes in, it's another goal in pre-season, and you will sing his praises. Unfortunately, he couldn't reach either of them, and I don't remember too much else he was able to do in the game, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll probably give him a 6, Will Lancashire. And last but not least, Alfie Devine, who came on again on the 60th minute for Dejan Kulusevski. I'm going to give Alfie, I think I'm going to give a 7.5. I thought he was actually really good when he came on, and I think he's been a bit of an unsung hero of this pre-season so far, because everyone's talking about the Mikey Moores, everyone's talking about the Bergvalls and the Archie Grays. Not many people are talking about Alfie Devine, and he put in a really strong display last time out against QPR in that second half, and I think he put in another really strong display, dictating the tempo, passing ability on show. He's showing that he's got a big future here. I really believe that, and whether he goes out on loan or stays here next season, I think he can get a lot of minutes here, and I think if he does go out on loan, it will aid his development even further. But I thought he put in a really strong showing.
Yeah, and he's played a number of different positions, and he's been excelling in all of them, and he's been really impressive. I have to say, Alfie Devine is a player that he was a lot of talk about him a few years ago after we signed him as a 16-year-old, and he made his debut and he scored, but he's had a few loan spells. I think they've gone okay, and none of them have been a disaster, but maybe they haven't convinced anyone that he's ready to be part of the Spurs first team just yet. But I have to say, seeing him for pre-season and first hand, seeing him how he's performed with his teammates, I think he's doing really well. I've been really impressed, and I'm really excited about his future as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it. That is our player rating for the 3-2 win over Vissel Kobe. That is us over and out from Gangnam in Seoul. Thank you everyone for watching us today. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.